right, good morning. Welcome to Fasting Space. I hope you are well today. So nice to be with you. We made it to Friday. So excited. Thought I'd turn up the music a tiny bit. So we can grab a coffee and chill out a little bit, celebrate a little bit, making it through the week. Brought us out into some space. Here we are. Fasting space in space. I love the metaphor. To me, we're trying to float toward better health. What better way to do it than even outside of gravity a little bit? Really floating in a space now. I like to say floating down a river, trying to flow in a direction of better health. Now we're really heading there. How are you doing today? How was the week for you? Let me know. How are you doing on the health journey? Do you need a space where you say, man, I need to take the pressure off? I'm feeling the weight of the week. Here's the metaphor. Hang out in space for a little bit. I want to bring you a quote to center our day, center our time heading in toward the weekend. Found this last night. Check this out. Albert Einstein. I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking. Swim in silence, and the truth comes to me. Isn't that beautiful? Especially from someone like that. Especially from Einstein. We could do worse, I think, than to listen to something like that. So many times, we think the path forward is doing. We talked about this a bit this week. We say, the path forward, always doing. The path toward health, do more, be more. Certain place for it. Fasting path, showing us sometimes the best way to move forward, actually doing nothing. Some of the greatest thinkers ever to grace this beautiful planet. Look at it. Here it is. Sometimes we just have to stop. This is what I say about every diet. You're moving forward in a weight loss space. Every diet tell you what to eat, but never when to stop. Look at Einstein thinking 99 times. Thinking, do, pushing. But then we stop. Give space. That's when the magic can happen. And a lot of things happen in space. A lot of things. Think about the deep thinking that this gentleman did on space and time. Probably the biggest ideas he had, swimming in the silence, clearing out the thought, being open to receiving something. It's another metaphor I love for our space. Not so much doing a weight loss or health process, being open to it. Like if we see, okay, the garden can grow in this space. that we give it. That's what we want. We want space in our life for health to flourish. Best thinking in humanity came swimming in silence. There was another big thought of the week, flowing into a space, silence, openness, looking at the bridge between fasting, space physically in the body, meditation, space open in the mind, flowing through one and into the other, using each of these things to reinforce the other, give us strength in body and mind. So that truth can come to us. What is the truth that we are looking for? What is the truth that we hope will come to us? When we open up a mental space, we try to say no to so much of the distraction that is happening in this society. There's a lot of things that seem true in this society that are ultimately not beneficial for us. Buy my product, you'll feel better. Buy my thing, you'll be happy. Maybe true in the short term. Is it bringing contentment? Is it bringing satisfaction? Is it bringing health in the long term? These are the types of things we should be asking ourselves when we get into an open space, when we try to take a bigger perspective. This is what I love about sitting, just looking at this, watching the world turn. Okay. How much stress do we feel in our life at this moment? Give yourself a little rating on a 10-point scale. Where is that stress level right now? Hey, take a look out here. We're floating up in the space station. Okay, look, the world is turning. Okay, without our worrying about it. Maybe make a little list in the journal right now. Like, what are the top things that you're worrying about? What is bringing stress to life? How is that stress impacting you? Like, what are the first things that come? We've got kind of first level and second level. First level is the immediate effects of it in the body. If we're experiencing anxiety, body and mind, I'm worried about this. I'm worried what's going to happen to my family. I'm worried about this thing at work. I'm worried about this thing in politics or the economy or like whatever it is. What are the things that you worry about? We experience that first in our conscious mind, right in our day. Can we give ourselves a bit of a gift? Can we get up here, the 20-mile out view, whatever it is, 1,000 miles, I don't know. Get out. So can we just float here for a little bit, Give ourselves the grace of taking the pressure off a bit. Does that help feed forward into other cycles? How many things that we struggle with are downstream of worry and stress? We're floating here in a fasting space. I try to help people see, okay, hard to snack our way to weight loss. Right? There's a lot of people trying to sell us a lot of special bars and powders, pills, supplements, things. Say, buy this special 20 grams protein bar with ginseng, or you know what I'm saying? That they sell it. Say, you buy this, you snack your way to weight loss. Sometimes a lot of the idea of that is like, skip your meal, eat my special bar, only 150 calories. Now you're really going to be losing weight, okay? Have you done a process like that? Anybody done a process like that? I know that people are doing it because people making tons of money. Just go on Amazon, go on any search, look for stuff like that. How does that process work for you? Do you find it enjoyable? Do you find it sustainable? I'll tell you, it's rare. It's common that somebody starts a process like that. They're into it. They saw the commercial, right? Say, oh, I'm just going to buy this bar. I'm going to replace some meals. I'm going to do it. It works in the short term. You can definitely lose weight doing that. How much fun is that, right? Do you like it? Do you find it sustainable? I've met lots and lots of people who tried something like that, had some initial success, and then it didn't stick, you know. A special bar in a plastic wrapper that came from a factory is about as far away from the type of food that I would advise people to eat. You know what I mean? It is one of the most highly manufactured synthetic products that there is, ironically, and then it's sold as a health food. So there's a great irony to me. I'll just tell you what, true health foods, things that really bring health, life, vitality to the body, that help someone sustainably feel good and lose weight, rarely come in cardboard boxes full of plastic packages. Rarely have an ingredients list that includes lots of preservatives and chemicals. I was laughing the other month. I was listening to somebody somewhere talking about, how Cheerios markets itself as heart healthy. They got a big heart healthy thing right on the box. See, I'm really doing something so good for myself, right? And American College of Cardiology, stuff like this, they get all the endorsements, okay? You know what doesn't have something like that on it? A carrot, okay? You know what doesn't have that on it? A broccoli. You know what doesn't have it is the free-range chicken that you bought from an actual human being, a small farmer outside of town that grew it and cared for it and didn't lock it in a thing and fed it nice stuff when it needed it. You know what I mean? And no special endorsements on those types of things. No flashy boxes. How beautiful is this melody? I found this music just the other day. Think of a music like this, think of a melody like this as like a solution. It's going to dissolve the stress, the worry. If you have trouble on a health path, like I was saying, you're trying not to snack. We're trying not to snack our way to health. This is like the first part of fasting space. Don't snack your way to health. You can fast your way to health. That's something that you can do if you are trying to lose weight, if that is your calling or place. Say, but I feel hungry. I want something I can grab, the bar. It's so easy. I just open the package, tasty, want to consume it. Maybe there's a time or place for it. I'm not telling you never to do it. But if you are consuming a product, if you are eating something, then you're not fasting. Body is saving energy for us. This is the path. This is what I want people to see. Body is saving energy for spaces without food. That's the fasting space. Fasting space, what is it? It's a space without food. This is the way to move toward weight loss without having to work very hard. If you want to work really hard to lose weight, I want to encourage you, okay? Human being, strong and powerful, can do incredible amount of work. The amount of energy that is inside the body is just amazing. 1 pound of body fat, about 3,600 calories. I did the math. It was a couple years ago. But when you look at how much energy it takes to walk a mile, and you look at, I'm sitting here in Madison, Wisconsin. I was looking at how much energy does it take to even walk across the country, It's like, I forget the numbers, but it was something like 60, 70,000 calories, like powering you over, like walking all this space. I'm like, whatever it came out to be, it was like 20, 25 pounds. So you think like, whoa, like power a human body on a cross-country voyage. Like, I'm not saying you would set out to intentionally try to do that, as a fasting. Probably a human being could do it, and you just think about people who are hunter-gatherers who did things like this, traveling hundreds and hundreds of miles. No refrigerators, no gas stations, just bringing the food that you can carry with you and collect. And human body is so amazing. I want people to see it in the fasting space, right at the core of the metabolism. The foundation of our health and the foundation of strength. To me, it's the foundation of the human spirit. Is right down there, because we are a mental, emotional being. Powerful, strong, mental, emotional being. Very, very hard to stop a human being that's set their mind on something, right? You think about someone like this, hunter-gatherer, traveling across a country. Right down at that core part, where like searching for food, this has been most of the human experience. Surviving, this is what people do. Here we're in this beautiful space, floating in a beautiful space. Hopefully, the goal. Many people on this beautiful planet, look at it. We want everybody's basic needs met. This is the type of thing I think about in a fasting space, the privilege of it. To say, hey, I have everything I need. I don't have to be hunting and gathering out in the wilderness, trying to survive. We are moving beyond survive into thrive. Now we can take a fasting space. So realize we're down in the core physiology of the body. This root level of strength, that is actually a healing space. The body, for so long, think about whatever you believe about the world, the evolution, the creation of it. The great expanse of time, generations upon generations of people. Hunting and gathering and eating and fasting, and right on this line of survive and thrive and live and grow. It's like here we're just this last moment of it, this current iteration, the entire human family and process on this planet. We got the same physiology, same bodies. That fasting space adapted throughout all of history as a healing space, bringing everything into balance. I just sit here, I look at the world right here, the world today. I said, don't we need balance? So many forces pushing in the direction of stress and pressure. Like, what is the force pushing backwards? Center ourselves in the midst of it. We were describing, one of the analogies this week was like the flow of the river heading downstream, okay? There's a lot of dishealth happening in society. We want to be thoughtfully and gently walking upstream, heading in the other direction to say, I don't like where this river's flowing. I want to float in a little different direction. Step against the current a little bit. That's a fasting space. Connect to something deep. I did the talk the other day, if you didn't see it, from the New England Journal of Medicine, this incredible article on fasting and researchers giving the vision of fasting centers, where when we realize the deep physiology, evolutionarily conserved, not only throughout human history, but heading back through like the entire lineage of life, through mammals all the way back in the single-celled organisms, have fasting protocols, times where there is energy deprivation and they have to look inside, use the reserves, power through to find more food, right? This is the process of life and living things. And of course, there's difficulty to it. Think of just life, struggle on this planet. But then there's benefit. The way life works, it is taking difficult things, inverting, turning them into positive, always making the best of everything. This is what we want to be doing. Making the best of our circumstance. Like whatever struggle we are in, whatever difficulty we are having, look toward the light, find the good. Leading with the heart. Forward and facing it. Taking the obstacles, overcoming them, turning them into opportunities, stepping stones that lift us up. Today, hopefully lifting us up, way up. Listen to that beautiful violin line. I think of music as like a solution. Think of it dissolving the stress, the anxiety, the tension. That can be specifically a food craving. I never say a fasting space is easy. We're here in a fasting space. To me, is like a training space. Say, hey, here. We're coming into a space, practice it, going through a space, doing every good thing that is helpful. Take a deep breath. Let that beautiful sound, the music, Try to dissolve that stress, help you flow through it. Music is a flow, right? It's got a rhythm to it. Help you flow through a space. Remind us, hey, I'm not alone here, right? Dial into the music, flow through a stressful response. A stress response. I was saying before, okay, the first level, the immediate experience of a stress. But then what about the second level? The fact that stress isn't just some neutral thing that happens. It's like if we don't release it, we hang on to it. It stays in here somehow. And somewhere in here or somewhere in here, stress is staying with us. It can become chronic. Chronic stress of so many different kinds, so many different ways that it can stay in there. One of the fundamental causes of most all chronic disease. Not necessarily acute disease, you get some infection or you get in a car accident, okay, things happen, okay, but the chronic disease, hormonal problems, autoimmune processes, blood sugar, blood pressure, every metabolic thing, fatty liver disease and struggles with weight, everything we're trying to overcome in a metabolic space, interacting with chronic inflammation in the body. That can come, from toxic exposures. That's why we try to eat the healthiest, cleanest, most pure and natural foods. Very important, very important. But then those same things, because they feed in the physical and the mental in the body, it's only a construct that separates them. Just an idea. It's the same thing somehow. The stress that we don't let go of, that stays, keeps us in the fight or flight mode. Telling the body, it's like danger is present all the time, gotta be on edge. Sending the message to the immune system, gotta have the guns out, Immune system like a army, ready to attack. Okay. That's how the T cells, they really are like that. They go bust some stuff up. If we're always telling the message, they get twitchy, right? They get a little trigger happy. It's like, we got to tell those guys to chill out, right? This is what taking a deep breath is. This is what getting into a meditation space is. This is what happens in a fasting space. As we're like calming all that down, fasting space and telling all the cells, hey, it's time to calm down here, go into rest and repair mode. Is what people missing in society is what I want people to see. People look at a fasting space, they say, oh, that seems like a lot of work. That seems like struggling through a space. Let's try to look at the perspective from the body. Body's like, man, this is resting space. This is healing space, repairing space. We're going to stop doing so many things. Stop running all the digestion. Stop running all this other stuff. Take some time for ourselves here. Turn on some DNA repair enzymes. Some really great stuff. Like, we got to run that. Keep that going. Reset the hormonal structure. Bring the insulin level, all kinds of other stuff. IGF-1, crazy stuff that you don't have to know. So bring all this stuff into balance. Reset and cleanse. This is a wellness practice. The goal of it is not to struggle with it. Doesn't mean it's easy, doesn't mean you can't struggle with it if you're called to do it. Say, I'm going to really push the edge here. Say, I'm going to open up some space. I'm going to do something maybe a little bit difficult if you're called to do it. Say, maybe in the short term isn't the most comfortable thing that I did, but I'm going to Lean into it. And then if you're not in that exact mindset, you say, I'm just going to go through it only as far as I feel comfortable. You might be surprised. You grab a coffee or a tea, just some water, stay hydrated. You might be surprised, like, whoa, I flew through a couple hours there. It really felt pretty good. Now I'm starting to feel a little hungry. I'm not quite comfortable with that yet. Hey, look, you didn't sign a contract, okay? Just open up some space as far as you want and then stop. See, we got many health paths. Healthy eating, incredible health path. When it's time to eat, put the best foods in the body. When it's time for fasting. Like now we're keeping every toxic thing out, giving the body space, release the energy that is already there. This is what a weight loss process is, of any type. Doesn't matter what path you're on, we're trying to get energy out of the body. Trying to exercise it out. Going through some standard diet, say, oh, we're just trying to restrict the flow in all the time, basically. I say a more physiologic way to do it, restrict the flow of energy coming in sometimes. That aligns the hormones, and there's no food there. Body gets very confused. When we're eating, we're supposed to be running off food. What if we're eating, but there's not enough? And then it's like, well, we can't really burn the body fat, but there's not really enough food here. Get caught in the cross current. That's where we struggle a little bit. Whereas like then we fired up the food system. We feel hungry, but we're not eating enough. Then we're not satisfied. Kind of hits the mental space a bit. Think of the music. Think of the rhythm. Music is beautiful because of the space between the notes, right? If it was always a constant drone, say, well, it wouldn't be necessarily quite as good. Here, listen to these notes. Note and pause, note and space. Eating, fasting, eating, fasting. This is the sort of rhythm that is the dance that leads us toward health. That's music. That's beautiful. Constant consumption, not a process really, I say, working very well for people. Not the beautiful dance that I say is leading in a direction that we want to go. Opening up some space. I don't know about you, but it sure felt good to me to just listen to that. Take a few moments, a few minutes. Just give some space. Let that music soak into the mind a little bit. I'm reflecting on this quote from Einstein. Swim in the silence. We're like swimming in the music there. Just, do you ever struggle with racing thoughts? So much going on in the mind. So many distractions in life. Do we just sit in a space for a bit, give ourselves the ability just to appreciate some thoughtful music? Let it help to calm that nervous system, help us cope with the stress. A beautiful music, it's not gonna eliminate stress, but it can help us process it, cope with it in a healthy way that is not bottling it up and storing it on a shelf somewhere. Undo these cycles of inflammation. That's what we want to do in the body. This is the path to health. This is what we want. Path to health. And now we've gone through this space. If you're with me here, if you're with me on the replay, say hi in the comments. Bless you for hanging out with me here in this space. Feels good. We connect in the future, even if you are not here live right in the moment. Now we are swimming in silence, like Einstein says. Both of these things are good. Swim in some music, if that is helpful, help you flow through a space. Maybe that is a doorway, an entryway to start flowing through a space in some silence. How are you feeling about it right now? I'll tell you right now, silence is sounding so good to me. My brother gave me a present last year. He gave me some of these loop little earplugs. It's an interesting experience. I've used them. I go to some rock concert, protect the ears a little bit. I used them the other day in a meditation space, just in my own house. We think about the noise of society. Just think about the noise in my own house. Like there's like the fridge is running somewhere, and some HVAC system is running somewhere. It's like just this constant noise. It drowns into the background. I was listening to a gentleman discussing that even chronic noise is like we don't have natural sound. We don't have these things. I think that's one of the most beautiful experiences that I had, in this week. I took everybody out to the lake where I was just to hear the wind in the trees and nature. It's like to be in here, to sit in my own house and then put in these loop things and realize how much quieter it was. You say, I was all alone in my house. But then I put in these things. I was like, oh, I'm just shutting out even more noise. Now you say, oh, now we're really being like Einstein, swimming in silence. We're like really shutting this down. Have you ever done this? And then you become so much more aware of your breathing. Then it's like that sound is always there, but when we block out everything else, all of a sudden, that was my experience, become so much more aware of your breathing. You like hear it. And like when you swallow, there's just basic things like, oh, this is loud actually. My own feeling of it felt like, just like there's like a pressure coming off too. So I've talked to a few patients lately who have done kind of a sensory deprivation therapy, actually like going in a place, actually floating, like in a saltwater kind of tank, like floating, and then it's in something is like sound insulated, so it's like just trying to take off all the inputs, kind of float in a space. Here we're really doing that now, right? We're floating out in space, the music has stopped, embracing a moment of quiet. Like, how often do we get something like this in society today? It's like, oh, just stop for a bit. Like, here's another metaphor heading into a fasting space, right? Fasting is the message giving us, hey, it's okay to stop. It's like I took the space there. Say, I said my piece for a bit. Like, let's take the advice here, right here. Swim in the silence, but we listen to the song. Then truth comes, thinking 99 times. Say, I was thinking during the session. Here, I'm sharing my experience with you. I'm trying to share the thoughts. Then the thoughts kind of running out. Let's swim in silence for a bit. See what comes. See, then it comes. Then we're back in the silence. We say, hey, this is okay. Fasting, say, is okay to stop. Think of like fasting from sound even. Man, I love that. That's telling me right now, like, listen more, speak less, This is the sort of thing. It's like culture telling us all the time, like, you gotta speak, you gotta, like, always noise, always, okay? But, like, do we really listen? Are we present? Are we listening to ourselves? Are we listening to others? I love it. A big thing for me, as a doctor, I sit with a patient is a big process of listening, right? I try to do as much listening to people as possible. This has been big on my radar. Is like, speak less, listen more, always. Is this your experience? Go to the doctor. Don't you wish people would speak less, listen more? Like, you want to share your thing. You don't want to get lectured at, right? My experience with a patient, I try to always let a patient speak first, so that I don't want to direct the agenda, So what does this person need or want? Like, what comes up before I interject, before I say, like, oh, how are you? What is this? Like, what are the first words? I'm always curious. So interesting, we're not comfortable with silence in society in general. People say it feel awkward. I myself, I say I can't handle it so often. Someone doesn't know what to say. I don't want an awkward experience. I'll say, oh, how are you? We have a pleasant conversation. It's one of the biggest challenges. This is why I didn't start a YouTube channel, that I wanted to do for quite a while. I don't really like speaking, I'll tell you. I don't like speaking very much. It's very hard to even like try to speak. It's like, really, I'd rather sit and listen. This experience, I was like, I'm doing a lot of speaking. It is getting easier. I like it. In some beautiful vision of the future, I would like to find a way to merge it, though. I would like to do a lot more listening. I would like this space to be a listening space. my personal feeling, I was like, I want to do less speaking and more listening. This would be, in my view, a great message for most of society. I wish most people would have this mindset. A cultural mindset that is like, let's just calm everything down here. It's like look at what we're doing. We're floating up over on this world here. We think of the hatred and the division and the animosity and everybody striving for attention and saying, listen to me, listen to me. This whole time we're not recognizing things of incredible value like silence. Society in general just rewards people who speak, right? The people who are loudest, the people who push their way in, the people who are the most confident. We've mistaken in many places confidence for intelligence. I feel that way anyway. People very bold and brash, so confident. They must really know what they are doing, huh? Well, how is this going, Like, do we need to pull everything back? Don't we need to pull everything back to a fundamental space? To me, metabolically, it's like that's fasting space, fasting right at the very core of it. I think this is why it resonates so deeply with me, because so much noise. Like, do you feel that way ever, where it's just like hard to even think straight? So many people, so loud, so much shouting, everybody thinks they know all these things. How do you know who to listen to? How do you know what to believe even? Just center ourselves with this Einstein quote here, right? Get to the silence, get to the space where truth can, emerge, come to us. What if nothing was the answer to so much of it, What if nothing, fasting is nothing. It's not a thing. It's just nothing. It's silence. Open space. What if the answer to all the noise, all the chaos, all the confusion, all the dishealth and disease and things, what if it's not louder shouting, bigger political movements, huge amounts of money spent on gigantic clinical trials trying to prove some incredible thing, and just an actual human process of awareness and openness? The self-control that just says it's okay to stop some things here. As I'm sitting here, I'm looking out over this image, the Earth spinning through space. We're just like zooming out. I'm not an economist or a philosopher, anything. Internal medicine doctor. I'm looking out at this and, I'm thinking of the talk we did, whenever it was, on the hidden history of our struggle metabolically, right? Hidden history of obesity. And we trace that back. When you think of the broad history of Earth, of people here, how wild it is that we're here in this moment. Like, and we just try to get our mind around people and how long we have been here. And we've got recorded history for some number of thousands of years. 10,000 primarily, and then glimpses back, some paintings on a cave wall that people say maybe was it 40,000 years. Like, who knows, you know? People dig down in the ground and they find bones and try to dig the history back even 100,000 years. And your mind, I mean, mine, I can't get my mind around that, you know, an experience like that. But like, this is home here. This is everything that has happened, however it has come to be. All of the struggle of people for an inconceivable amount of time. And most people, despite all the infectious disease, the warfare, and the tribal conflict, are like, I don't know. It would be hard to choose a time to be alive any other time. You know, we don't really know what it's like. It's easy to glorify the past, you know, when we, you know, we look into histories of certain things. A lifespan of people was not so long ago, you know what I mean? And so we say, here we are in this modern moment, and we're floating here on this spaceship Earth, traveling us through space. And say, is this an incredible moment to be alive? I say it is. But then at the same time, it's like this cross current where we have incredible technology. We can be streaming live to people all over this planet, right? You know, right now. It's incredible. But like at the same time, incredible amounts of dishealth metabolically. Does it feel, do you feel like, man, in this moment, this is like riding on a freight train that is, it's not heading in a good direction. It's like the track is heading toward the cliff. Like, it's not exactly sustainable. Doesn't it feel like we can't quite go on this way? Isn't this like not the way of being? This is what I really want to communicate on this channel. What is the way of being here? Floating in this space that is healthy. Most people, most of history, floating through space, despite all the things, we're metabolically healthy. Now here is the balance. Now we're in this moment. We have incredible abundance. People living longer say, yes, we have some longevity happening here on this planet where people in the past were not experiencing it so much. And we say that's a good thing. We have, okay, there's never been so many people, but and look, we've developed, okay, sanitation, all these things, infectious disease, much less than it was, helps the lifespan. But then how is the health span? It's like we talk so much, okay, people living, you know, well into their 80s, whereas like so many people used to not be able to do that. But then so many people not experiencing health and flourishing there like they could be. And they say, don't we want to find the balance and the mix of this somehow, where it's like we can exist here in a way where we have the benefits of modern society and medicine and the things that can help with these difficult situations, but then that the metabolic health can be flourishing, and that we can find a way to reconnect with the natural cycles that have been sustaining this planet and people in a state of metabolic health. That's what I would hope for the future of people, that it can be grounded, connected, healthy, you know, healthy for everything and everyone. You know, I look at this planet, I think, okay, this way of being is damaging people stressed out, unhappy, isolated, alone, struggling with metabolic disease. And at the same time, like we see terrible strain being put on the resources of this beautiful planet, species going extinct. Nobody likes species going extinct. Like, you think about the conflict that people have about climate change. People say, oh, it's like, some people say, you know, it's obvious that things not going well. Other people say, oh, it's like, it's fake. Okay, listen. What if we just look, can we find some things to agree on? Like, can everybody agree that we shouldn't be like causing beautiful species to be going extinct. Do you see? That's at least out of balance. Human in killing off of species. Like, I think, can everybody agree? Like, we should at least try to not do that, you know? Is what I'm saying. When we get out in this view, you say, wow, if things are so out of balance, things out of balance in the body, things out of balance in the world. Like, how do we bring things back into balance? Say, if we feel that way, man, this is like a train running in the wrong direction. Like, how do you stop it? How do we stop processes that feel so big and huge? The best that I've been able to come up with, say, stop them in our own life. We're like this little cell. We kind of control our little thing. We got this whole, as Nate Hagens says, the whole human superorganism, like this colossus that is built out of all of our collective action. Can getting out in a space like this, can we look at the big picture and say, hey, there's a lot of things that just have to stop here. Can we make the noise stop? Can we make the train stop? Can we make it stop for ourselves first? I honestly believe a fasting space is like part of that. That we can just recognize we don't have to be constantly consuming things all the time. Like, we can say no, and we can realize the power in that space, the power in the silence to turn all the noise off, and just to say, I don't think we need another economic doctrine. I don't think we need another legislation. We need a shift in human consciousness that starts in all of our individual little cells that say, we're going to collectively together somehow start making a different choice, find a different way of being that is more wholesome and healthy. We have to bring all of ourselves into balance first. I don't think there's a way to do it. I don't think we can all sit here and keep living in a way that is just like, keep consuming our way to health, not working. Like, we have to open up space for health to flourish. This, to me, is the process of bringing things into balance. Physically and mentally is how we heal our bodies, how we heal our mind. We start having all of us together, healthy minds and healthy bodies, not needing so much health care, right? That we are just strong and we're good. It's like, well, no, we're good here. And then we take that energy, that life, the vitality, the strength, the energy, and flow it back out to everybody and say, hey, look, we've made things a lot more difficult and complicated here than they need to be. The solution is often just to stop. Like, let's just stop, okay? Stop being angry. I did the session in the fall, letting go of anger. And here would be something great for our society, for humanity, for the world, to everybody. Like, what could be more important, actually, than letting go of anger? Than forgiveness, right? Think of cycles we get stuck in. So much of the things, like in our body, so many of the things that lead to dishealth, being stuck in a negative cycle, can't let go of something, trauma from the past. Did that session on trauma. The most important question in weight loss, I think that session we did live dove deep into trauma, letting go of it. And think of the world. See, do you see the mirror? Our body, the world, right, is just a mirror between the two. The world stuck in negative cycles, trauma and experience keeps people going in a loop, repeating the same history again and again because people can't let go of anger. We don't let go of the trauma, the cycles, the history. We don't see the shared humanity. This is mirrored in our same body. We have negative cycles. We have trauma. We have coping mechanisms. Maybe it is a food space. That's the thing that we're moving toward the most. We're using food to cover over and cope with something, right? Instead of letting it go and resolve it, open up a fasting space, open up a silence. I wish you the most beautiful weekend. I will look forward greatly to connecting with you again next week. Be well, everybody.